Even now, the case remains open. Detective files sit in a cabinet, untouched and unresolved, as townspeople whisper about Emily Carter's fate. Some believe she escaped and started a new life far away. Others fear the worst, that she was silenced, her secrets buried with her. The story of Emily Carter is not just about a disappearance. It is about the fragility of life, the shadows that can hide in familiar places, and the mysteries that can linger indefinitely. It is a reminder that sometimes, even in small towns, there are truths we may never know, secrets that are kept in plain sight, and stories that continue to haunt long after the last person walks away. And so, the streets of Willow Creek remain quiet. The wind still whispers through the trees, and the name Emily Carter echoes through conversations, social media, and the hearts of those who remember. A mystery unresolved, a life interrupted, and a story that will continue to intrigue, terrify, and captivate anyone who dares to listen. It was a quiet Sunday evening in the small town of Willow Creek. The streets were empty, save for a few cars passing by, and the wind whispered through the bare branches of the old oak trees. Emily Carter, a 27-year-old teacher, had left her apartment that morning with a sense of purpose. She smiled at the barista at her usual coffee shop, exchanged pleasantries with her neighbor, and walked down the familiar streets toward her school. Everything seemed ordinary. But that ordinary day would mark the beginning of a mystery that would baffle the town for years to come. Emily was known to be meticulous, organized, and somewhat private. She had a small circle of friends, loved reading late into the night, and had a habit of journaling her thoughts each morning. She was also careful, almost cautious in her interactions with strangers, a habit instilled by her father who always warned her to watch the world closely. And yet, nothing could have prepared her or anyone else for the events that would unfold that evening. The last time anyone saw Emily was around 6 in the evening, near the small bookstore she often visited. She had been carrying a leather-bound journal and a shopping bag with a few essentials. A passerby later reported seeing her wave to a friend and then continue down the narrow alleyway that led to the back of the old library. That was the last confirmed sighting. By 9 o'clock, Emily hadn't returned home. Her roommate Sarah began to worry. She called Emily's phone several times, each call going straight to voicemail. Concern turned into unease when Sarah noticed that Emily's bag, her coat, and even her keys were still on the apartment table, untouched. Something was not right. The following morning, the local police were notified. Officers arrived at Emily's apartment, noting the unusual state of her belongings. Nothing was stolen, there were no signs of a struggle, yet Emily had vanished without a trace. The investigation began, and soon the story of Emily Carter became the town's obsession. Detectives interviewed her friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Everyone painted a similar picture. Emily was reliable, cautious, and predictable. She had no known enemies, no disputes at work, no reason to disappear voluntarily. Yet the puzzle pieces refused to fit. As the days passed, small clues began to emerge. Emily's journal, which had been left behind on the table, contained entries of her thoughts, observations, and occasionally cryptic notes about her interactions during the week. Some entries hinted at a sense of being watched, subtle mentions of someone following her home from school, or mysterious calls that had been made but left no message.
One entry, dated just 2 days before her disappearance, read, I feel eyes on me everywhere I go. I try to brush it off, but the feeling lingers. Something is not right, but I can't put my finger on it. It was haunting, especially in retrospect. Meanwhile, the town grew restless. Social media lit up with speculation. Amateur detectives dissected every clue, and the local news ran continuous updates. People claimed to have seen Emily in different parts of town, but each sighting was either unverified or quickly debunked. 2 weeks into the investigation, a strange lead came from a small diner on the outskirts of Willow Creek. The waitress reported seeing a woman matching Emily's description, sitting alone at a corner table, staring out the window. She seemed agitated and kept glancing at the door. When approached, she vanished into the crowd before anyone could speak to her. The detectives began to suspect that Emily might have been lured somewhere, perhaps by someone she trusted. Phone records were analyzed, bank accounts checked, but nothing concrete surfaced. Every lead turned into a dead end. As weeks turned into months, the mystery deepened. One night, the local librarian discovered a series of letters tucked behind a shelf, all addressed to Emily, but never delivered. They were unsigned, written in careful, almost obsessive handwriting. The content ranged from admiration to warnings, and some even implied a knowledge of her daily routines. The letters were unsettling, suggesting that someone had been paying close attention to Emily for an extended period. Months later, a retired detective who had moved to town offered to consult on the case. He examined the letters, cross-referenced local residents with potential connections, and focused on the alleyway near the bookstore, the last confirmed sighting. He theorized that whoever took Emily was familiar with the town, familiar with her habits, and familiar with the weaknesses in her daily routine.
The theory was grim. It suggested planning, patience, and a chilling precision. But despite his insight, no physical evidence could be found. The alleyway had been swept clean, CCTV cameras were missing or non-functional, and no witness could recall anything significant. During this time, Emily's friends tried to piece together her last interactions. One friend recalled meeting her at a cafe a few days before she vanished. Emily had mentioned a man she had noticed repeatedly in the park near her apartment. She didn't know him, and he seemed harmless, yet something about his stare had unsettled her. She laughed it off at the time, but in hindsight, it became one of the few concrete clues. Meanwhile, the police received an anonymous tip. The caller claimed to have seen Emily being taken into a van late one evening. No further information was given, and the tip could not be verified. Yet it fueled a glimmer of hope that Emily might still be alive. Months turned into a year. The town never forgot Emily Carter. Her story became a cautionary tale, a whisper of mystery told to children and new residents alike. People still speculated, and every once in a while, someone thought they saw her reflection in a store window or on a distant street. But Emily herself remained unseen. In a final twist, one of Emily's letters, found long after her disappearance, was revealed in the local newspaper. It had been written months prior, detailing a secret she had uncovered at the school where she worked, something that threatened the reputation of influential people in the town. The content was vague, yet it hinted at a motive, a reason why someone might have wanted her gone.